Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be discussing an official statement released by Epic last night titled Fortnite and the B.R.U.T.E. I know I've talked about this subject in multiple different videos already, and I can totally understand if you guys are getting somewhat tired of this type of video. But the only chance we have to force Epic to change something regarding the B.R.U.T.Es is to continue being very vocal about how much we hate them. And as you'll see when we dive into the statement that Epic actually made, based on what they wrote, it really seems like they're very content with the way the B.R.U.T.Es currently are, which is obviously very problematic. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm not going to read the entire statement they posted since it's actually pretty long and only certain parts of it are actually super important. So let me start off by reading the first section, which really explains their thought process regarding the B.R.U.T.E. We've heard the frequent discussions, in parentheses, #RemoveTheMech, about the B.R.U.T.E. and decided this would be a good opportunity to explain the Fortnite philosophy. The mission of Fortnite is to bring players of all skill levels together to have a fun experience where anyone can win. For example, everyone having a shot at that first elimination or victory royale moment and the satisfying feeling that comes with it. Right now, we know there are players out there who have never had that opportunity. Another part of the mission is to provide spectacle and entertainment when playing Fortnite. Bringing these moments to the game every week means there's always a new way to enjoy and experience the game. The B.R.U.T.E. was added at the start of Season X with this mission in mind. Since then, we've seen players who had previously struggled with getting eliminations acquire more, while the number of eliminations earned by more experienced players remains steady. So I know to a lot of people, what I just read is going to sound really awful. Although they've definitely hinted at it in the past, this is the most straightforward I've ever seen Epic be, in terms of actually admitting that they want to cater the game to bad players. Now, if you're a good player, I can totally understand why you would be so angry about that. I'm sure we all remember how awesome it was to get our first win or first 10-kill game, and one of the main reasons why that felt so good was because you grinded and put in so much time to improving that when you finally got that victory royale or a really high kill game, it felt like you were rewarded for your struggle that you put in. But now, since the beginning of Season X, new players have the option to just jump in these super-powered robots, which enables them to get easy kills and easy wins. It would be like if you worked in the same McDonald's for 30 years straight. And you started as a janitor, then you moved your way up to cook, then cashier, and finally manager. But then, 2 months later, the CEO's son comes straight out of high school and you get fired so he can take your position. I know that's a super weird analogy that probably doesn't make perfect sense, but I think you get the point of what I'm trying to say here. However, the other side of the argument is the real reason why Epic caters to the new or the very casual players. It isn't because they hate their dedicated players and want them to suffer, it's just because casual players make up the majority of the player base and they buy skins too. So from a business perspective, Epic needs to keep the casual players as interested in the game as possible. And to be fair to those casual players who get hated on by a lot of better players, learning how to play Fortnite now is a whole different animal than learning how to play Fortnite in earlier seasons. If you're someone really good at the game, just for a second, put yourself in the shoes of someone just playing Fortnite for the first time now. And imagine them running into a really good player in Season X. Back in Season 2 or 3, when the majority of you guys probably started playing the game, that good player would have maybe built 1 or 2 ramps and that would have been it. Now, that really good player is probably going to crank 3 heavily protected 90s, and then Tfue Classic the poor guy as he looks up into the air with no idea what just happened. Now, don't get me wrong here, I definitely don't think the B.R.U.T.E is the way to solve that problem, but I also don't think the casual players are the ones to blame for this. So after that initial statement, Epic then attached 2 different bar graphs which show 2 important statistics regarding B.R.U.T.s. The first is the average B.R.U.T eliminations per game in every Fortnite game mode, and the second is the percentage of B.R.U.T eliminations per game. So looking at the eliminations per game, it looks like it's about 4 per game in solos, maybe 6.5 per game in duos, right around 6 per game in squads, also pretty much 6 per game in Team Rumble, then maybe 0.5 per game in arena solos, and roughly 1 per game in arena trios. Then, if you look at the percentage of eliminations per game in each mode, it's actually really difficult to tell since they used a very bad scale of values on the y-axis, and maybe that was done on purpose if you catch my drift there. But what they're trying to convey here is that a very small percentage of kills in each game mode are actually with the B.R.U.T. Now, a lot of people believe that these numbers are actually fake. I personally don't think that's the case, I just think the numbers they gave us are very misleading. First off, a B.R.U.T can pretty much totally ruin someone's game without actually eliminating them. I can't even count how many times I've been at something like 200 health with a good amount of mats, and then a B.R.U.T just randomly starts attacking me out of nowhere. Maybe he hits me with 3 missiles, so now I'm at 50 health, then I have to spam a ton of mats to not get hit again, and finally I use my only launch pad to escape out of the fight. In that scenario, when I die to the next player I fight because I have 50 health and no materials, that obviously won't show up in the stats for B.R.U.T eliminations. And even though I died to a regular player, I think it's totally fair to say that the B.R.U.T was largely responsible for my death. And that right there is just one specific example of a situation that probably happens fairly frequently in regular games. I mean, even if a B.R.U.T doesn't fire a single shot in a fight, it'll distract every enemy nearby for a solid 20 to 30 seconds at least as they all spray and try to destroy it. The second problem that I have with these elimination stats is that even if it is only 5 or 6 kills a match, the problem isn't just about the sheer number of kills, it's more about how easy those kills actually are. By the same logic Epic's using here, why not just add a tactical nuke to the game that spawns somewhere on the map and whoever picks it up presses a button and it randomly kills 5 players? I mean, hey, only 5% of the lobby is getting killed by the tactical nuke each game, so what's the problem? I hope that shows how it's a dangerous game to judge whether or not a weapon/item is fair only by its number of eliminations per game. So this entire statement by Epic really does seem like they're doubling down on their stance of the B.R.U.T, which is basically, it's great for new players and we don't think it's overpowered, so we're happy with the way it currently is. I hope they're confident in the data they have, because it seems like the most dedicated Fortnite players are the least interested in the game they've ever been. And the final thing I want to quickly show in this video is a tweet by Donald Mustard, who's the Fortnite creative director. He quoted Epic's Twitter statement and said this: "A constantly evolving, changing, and living place. You never know what might happen next, but where just about anything's possible. That's what we're trying to make." Now, Donald Mustard seems like a cool guy, and based on the fact that he's the creative director, I don't think specific gameplay changes are really what he deals with. But when I read this tweet, it just seems so out of touch with what the players who play the game actually want. I get it, Fortnite's super original, and they're ever-changing with their world, and it's a unique feature of their game that so many people like, but that isn't the problem with the game right now. It's hard to appreciate all the work that the creative team puts in when everybody's so angry because they're getting 10 rapid-fire rockets shot right at them. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on Epic's official statement regarding their thoughts on the current state of the B.R.U.T E. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.